I promise you, by the end of the story, Koby has Conquerors Haki. And I know what you're thinking, Kyle. That's a crazy statement, but listen, and let me explain it to you. And I need you to watch the entire video, or it just won't make sense. So look, earlier this week, I made a TikTok, and I basically was just explaining, like, look at this sexy guy. Like, why would you not believe a word that comes out of his mouth? But I made this TikTok, right? I was basically saying, like, this right here, this right here. Is it Conquerors Haki? Is that just maybe just a little bit of Conquerors Haki in it? And like that may just be like a crazy statement and like a kind of like a out of context type of thing. Like, oh, that's just how Arnold Haki always is. And that could be the case. Now I could be wrong about that. But like if there's just a smidge of Conquerors Haki in there, just look at what he did with his Honesty Impact. He essentially, this is essentially a mountain level feat of the same degree that what Garp did. And again, we saw what Garp did with his type of impact, and then of course we have Koby's Honesty Impact, which suits his personality like unironically super well. And I really want to know where I can get a flashback with him and Garp when he was naming this attack, if they actually named it together. And another thing that got me thinking was some people in the comments, and no, I'm not talking about where's your cornbread and chicken or full body ornament Haki. If you don't understand that, just look at the color of my skin.
Oh no, this can't be. It says I'm 102% African.
He said that he'll turn Luffy in, and what if Luffy becomes the Pirate King and like Koby take him in, blah blah blah, his friends come save him, then we get a Marineford Part 2. And like, I read that and I was like, no way. But then like I kept thinking about it and I was like, wait, that low key could be the case. But like then that begs the question though, like what does Koby really have to do in order to become face to face with Luffy? Because let's just be honest right now. This kid right here, he's come a long way now. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely pretty strong now. But like, there's only so much that this guy can do. And for context about this, when he said that he was going to bring Luffy back in, this happened at the end of Water 7 when like Garp had showed up and then Koby was there. And then obviously he said it right here. Like then we have to ask ourselves the question of like what is Koby gonna have to do in order to be able to go face to face with Luffy? Because Luffy right now, he's got Gear 5, he's got crazy Ornament Haki, crazy Conquerors, he's got Ryo, he's got all these different things that he learned in Wano, right? So what is he going to have to do in order to become face to face with Luffy? And then I thought about it and I was just like, there's nothing he can do. At the same time, I remembered he's been training with Garp. And let's not discredit Garp's resume. He's trained out Kichi, and look how he turned out. And we literally have proof of this in the previous chapter where we literally saw flashbacks of him training Kuzan, punching the battle buses. I said battle buses again. I said it in the TikTok and I said it in this video too. The battleship bags. That's what I'm trying to say. We saw him training with Kuzan with that. And we saw Koby was essentially pulling a Deku, messing up his wrist and his whole entire arms, punching these ships, right? So through all this intense training and through these training regimens, who's to say that he couldn't await Conquerors Haki just from not only the sheer training that he's been going through, but just the fact that he wants to be an admiral? Because let's not forget, his whole premise, he wanted to join the Marines, he wanted to become an admiral. And then one could say, well, what do you need to in order to like be able to achieve Conquerors Haki? You have to want to be a king of something. Zoro wants to be the king of hell, he wants to be the king of the pirates. Roger had Conquerors, he was king of pirates. Basically every emperor has Conquerors Haki because they want to be king of the pirates, right? You could say the same thing about being an admiral. Yes, they're not like the king of anything, but that's the strongest thing you can be in the Navy, basically. And he would be the first Marine to even show the slightest bit of Conquerors Haki. And like we saw in Marineford, his observation Haki was going through the roof, and like he was seeing all types of different things and hearing different things with his observation Haki, and like that was going crazy. So we know he's gonna have super strong observation Haki. But when it comes to Conquerors, I think the thing that's really going to be set in stone is his training, the fact that he wants to take in Luffy. And think about this, to be able to take in Luffy, he's gonna need stronger ornament Haki, stronger observation, and basically something that on the form of Ryo, because Luffy, he's just insane right now. And I know for a fact that a lot of people are going to discredit this feat. And don't get me wrong, it's like, okay, I'm gonna gas this feat up a lot. This is not a mid feat. This is a mountain level feat. The same thing that Garp did back a couple chapters ago. Not even a couple chapters ago. In this same chapter, he cracked. Bro, let me just pull it up so we're just all on the same page about this. A wounded, stabbed in the chest, wounded Garp came up and the galaxy divided the skull, the entire skull in half. In half. Once again, mountain level feats are being performed by not only Garp, but Koby as well, his student, his disciple. Are you performing mountain level feats like this? No. But then again, you're not in One Piece, or you don't have the slightest bit of haki or just anything like that, so you have no business to even be performing feats like this. But the whole premise of this video and the whole argument that I'm trying to provide here is that giving Koby Conquerors Haki, I feel like Oda gave us this feat for a reason, to remind us that Koby is here, Koby is strong, he's not to be messed with, and behind the scenes he's been putting in a lot of training, stuff like this. Because again, let's just think about this too. If he really is going to bring in Luffy someday, he has to bring something more to the table than just some casual ornament haki observation and things like that. He's going to have conquerors. There's no doubt about it. But is he beating Luffy right now? Absolutely. No. Gear 5, he's getting one shot. But do I think in the future, if Koby keeps training, he keeps developing his haki, and eventually awakens his Conquerors Haki, will he be able to stand a chance against Luffy? It's still kind of 50-50. It depends on how strong Luffy gets and just that whole thing. But I really do think that we could really have a Marineford Part 2 if Luffy ended up got jumped. Koby actually was strong enough, and somehow, some way they were able to capture him, and now we gotta go to Marineford to save him again, like they did. But again, who knows? Maybe he's not gonna get Conquerors Haki. Maybe he gets something else. Maybe he eats a devil fruit. Maybe he gets next level ornament haki or something like that. Who knows? But for right now, I definitely think that maybe not now, but a couple months, couple years, when that chapter comes out and Koby has Conquerors Haki, don't count me out. I said it first. But yeah, that's the video. You know what I'm saying? This format was definitely very weird. It's first video kind of like this, so might be a little rough, kind of awkward these first couple too, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure it out. But that's the video, and Koby will have Conquerors Haki.